Hello everyone, as with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I don't know why you are all worried like XRP isn't going to hit double digits this year. Jim Cramer just confirmed we're going to $10 plus. He says, I can't believe some people on the internet think XRP will go over $10 this year. It's not going to happen. It's just not. And remember, anything Jim Cramer says, you could expect the opposite to happen. I think we're going to head to double digits very quickly when the breakout starts. I think it's going to shock a lot of people when it happens, but it is absolutely coming. Breaking, the U.S. government is projected to shut down this week. Now it's at a 74% chance, and it looks like this is going to happen by February 14th. Now, you could expect more delays if this is to happen. But how long is the government going to stay shut down? Hopefully, if it happens, they get it reopened quickly so things can push forward. And then Mr. Mann said this, and some of you thought Ripple wasn't true to their word as XRP as a bridge asset. Brad Garlinghouse says, glad to see the message is finally even more clear. XRP family has and always will be top of mind for Ripple. And that's because they already know XRP is at the heart of everything that Ripple does. XRP is already on the path to becoming the world's bridge currency. Every single stablecoin will need a bridge. Every single central bank digital currency is going to need a bridge. People think that soon as something new pops up right away, well, it's over for XRP. Remember when RLUSD launched and everybody said, oh, Ripple only cares about their stablecoin. They don't care about XRP. But then after a few days, people finally realize they complement each other. RLUSD is the door opener for XRP. Figment partners with Ripple Custody to strengthen institutional staking infrastructure. So now we have another partnership for Ripple. And you see, they're offer staking to their end customers without building in-house infrastructure. Integrate staking into custody workflows with minimal operational lift. Meet strict compliance requirements backed by Ripple's and Figment's regulatory focus. Expand product offerings which operationalizes custody in a secure way. Ripple selected Figment for its proven track record, serving more than 1,000 institutional clients, its non-custodial architecture, and its focus on regulated market participants, with deep experience operating validators across leading networks. Figment delivers the reliability, performance, and transparency required to support staking at institutional scale. Institutions are going to want staking options. They want to make sure that they can earn off of their investment. And that's why Ripple continues to expand in this direction as well. They want to become a one-stop shop for all of the institutional adoption. XRP is close to entering a recovery phase if retail inflows stay at the same level we are witnessing right now. But it doesn't just come down to retail anymore. I always remind people, institutional money is coming into this space. This whole run-up that we're about to see happen, it's going to be driven by retail FOMO, institutional FOMO, ETF FOMO, and it's all going to be happening simultaneously. And that's why I think we will see all the XRP that's sitting on the exchanges now, that's going to disappear quickly. And when it happens, we are then going to see scarcity and much higher prices for XRP. But everybody wonders, when is retail going to come back? When is retail going to return to XRP? Well, you have two types of investors. You have new investors that are getting in now because people are telling them, listen, XRP is cheap right now. Now's the time to get positioned. But then you have other investors that won't get into this space or come back into this space until the breakout already starts. Once XRP hits a new all-time high, the excitement and the euphoria is going to be crazy. You're going to see so much money enter this space and so many new investors coming in at the same time. Remember when I showed you all those lines of people lined up to buy gold at the top? You will see the same thing happen in crypto. You'll see it happen for XRP. This comes from King Karan. It's funny how CNBC is calling us least intelligent, but we are always right. I'd rather be a conspiracy theorist who is right than an intelligent person complying like a sheep. And you see, CNBC says XRP holders are the least intelligent of any crypto investors, and it's not even close. You know what's funny, though? We were smart enough to invest in what is going to be the future. You know, we didn't buy into the distraction, and that's what Bitcoin is. It's nothing more than a distraction. And when CNBC puts this out there, what they're hoping for is that people will sell their XRP and jump into Bitcoin, because the marketing team at Bitcoin, they need exit liquidity. That's why you see Bitcoin talked about all over the mainstream media news, because the big bag holders, they pay for that because they want to get as many people in as they possibly can so they can exit their position. We were right from day one, and we're still being proven right time and time again. We proved everyone wrong in this space for years now, even the Epstein files. I remember talking about some of those connections back in 2022. Now you're starting to see them all come to light. But back then, people said, oh, that's all just conspiracy theory. Everything's a conspiracy theory, but if you see the players that are involved, you see how big this actually is and how damning those files actually are. This comes from Jacob King. Breaking: investors are massively exiting Binance, with the platform seeing its largest net outflows ever recorded as panic spreads. Many traders and on-chain watchers believe Binance could be facing insolvency risk or hidden liquidity problems, while others point to ongoing suspicions of price manipulation and coordinated dumps by whales or market makers. So you see all of the outflows happening at Binance. But what is going on over there right now? I think people are losing faith in Binance, and I think everybody in the community is blaming them for market manipulation. And for 1010 as well, October 10th, remember that dump? But there's no real facts to this. I think a lot of this is running on speculation. Now, I believe the market manipulation, that is absolutely true. But I think that's a coordinated effort. It's not just coming from one exchange. It's coming from multiple exchanges working together at the same time. While the market crashed, Patrick Bet-David was buying XRP. You got to hear this.
Bought any crypto?
No.
You haven't bought any? Okay, so you haven't taken advantage of the discount that's going on right now?
Before the sun sets today, I'm going to.
Okay, got it. So I just bought a bunch of XRP and Bitcoin yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a bunch when it dropped to whatever the number was in the 80s, high 70s, 80s. And to me, the part about dollar cost averaging is it's so easy to teach, but it's so hard to execute on it.
So now that he bought XRP, remember, he was once a Bitcoin only guy. And I think we're starting to see a lot of these OGs, these Bitcoin only guys, they're now starting to come around to XRP. They're starting to realize that Bitcoin adoption is just a fantasy. It's never going to happen. It's way too expensive and it's way too slow. And I think the fact that Bitcoin was mentioned in the Epstein files the way it was, I think that turned a lot of people off to Bitcoin. I think they were like, yeah, I think I'm done with this. I got to start looking at moving my investment to a different cryptocurrency. And I think that's also why we're seeing a lot of those outflows on the ETFs as well. Mark Yusko says he's watching for a potential policy curveball. Take a listen to this. And remember, he hates Ripple and he hates XRP also.
I worry there's a curveball coming, and maybe it's an XRP thing, and he's doing more behind the scenes than I know. I worry that there's a CBDC version coming where they just say, you know what, you can't use Tether, you can't use USDC, and if you don't use the government, we're going to put you in jail. Kind of like the 33 Act with gold.
So is he saying that RLUSD is going to become the digital dollar? And who knows? A lot is happening in the background, behind the scenes. And that's why they want to keep you distracted with Bitcoin. They want to keep you distracted with the market selling off. They want to keep you distracted with all the tariff talk. But I believe behind the scenes, the whole new financial system is getting pieced together piece by piece. And I think we are very close to the new financial system going live. I think we're close to the banks going live with XRP, utilizing all of those Ripple rails. Federal Reserve to roll out skinny master accounts this year as broader crypto rules remain in limbo. So Fed Governor Christopher Waller said on Monday that he hopes to have the slimmed down version of a Fed master account in place by the year's end. He also spoke about ongoing volatility in crypto markets, pointing to euphoria that stemmed from President Trump entering office last year, and said that is now going away. I think it's going to be a phased event. In other words, we got that correction back when the president got elected in 2024. And then you've seen that run up into the beginning of 2025. Now I think we're going to see the next phase of that run up. But I think this next phase is going to be more based on tokenization, regulations getting put in place, banks talking about utilizing crypto. Also, the rise of stablecoins happening at the same time. But of course, the banks are going to fight back against this also. Banks have formalized their opposition to giving crypto and fintech firms direct access to the Federal Reserve's payment systems, escalating a fight over who controls the core of U.S. payments infrastructure. They don't want any competition. They want to keep all of these crypto companies out of the Fed as well. Because you got to remember, Jamie Dimon over there at JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs and all these other players, they've been getting rich off of the current system for decades. Now, all of a sudden, they see all this new technology showing up. They don't know how to counter it, so they go to the White House and get all of their buddies, all their politician friends who they filled their pockets for years to get on board and delay it as long as they can while they try to work on a solution to this. The problem is Ripple's technology has a patent. And when you have patents in place for on-demand liquidity, it's hard to create an alternative. Plus, what are they going to do? Go back in time and start putting rails in place over a decade ago like Ripple did? That doesn't happen overnight. And you're not going to slow down crypto for the next decade. This is all coming together so quick right now. And you got to remember, even if it doesn't happen in the US and they slow it down here, all around the rest of the world, everything's still pushing ahead. So US banks are going to get left behind no matter how you look at this. They either got to get on board or they get left behind. And in the end, we all get rich together. But until it happens, stay patient, stay positive. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.